The Center for Fiction is an extraordinary place. There's no other place quite like it.
The best thing about it is that you could read the book, but like you get to meet the author and ask him questions about why he wrote the book and his story behind it, and that's better than just reading the book and not knowing.
The fact that her father is Indian and her mother is Irish, I found that really cool because my family's kind of Southern and Haitian and Dominican.
It's getting kids to read and to be together as a community, talking about books, talking about reading, and having the opportunity to talk to authors. And I think actually it probably seems like the authors are giving it to kids, but I think equally so, if not more so, the authors are getting so much from the kids.
It was one of the most memorable times, and I hate to call it a career because it's so young, but one of the most memorable times of this writing life. It just really felt like a family, and I've been acknowledged in other ways, but it never felt like a family, like that I could call on them for things that were outside the scope of the support. And to be associated with an institution in New York. I don't think a lot of people really know the history of the center and how so many people from American history have been here and spoken here and associated with this. And so to be part of that legacy really means something to me.
The thing that I have liked most about my teaching experience here at the center is the feeling that I'm really involved with the community. I think it's a small group, but I get to know people intimately who have been often writing their whole lives. They're coming to the workshop from just a myriad of life experiences. Coming in here every week to teach is such an important part of my week. Just being in these walls is a feeling of security, and I have felt just so encouraged and supported in a meaningful way. I mean, not just emotionally supported, but supported materially by the Center for Fiction and its programming.
What I love about the Center for Fiction is that it is a literary salon, I think, for the 21st century, except that unlike most literary salons, anyone can come. Everybody feels welcome. And I think attending events at the Center for Fiction, getting to see my literary heroes and anti-heroes engaged in conversation, taking part myself in sessions here, from panel discussions to book conversations to even broader conversations about the state of literature and books and where fiction fits in this larger cultural conversation, all played a huge role in making me feel like I was part of a literary community, not only in New York, but in the world.
It's just wonderful to see how far we've come, that there could be a school that's focused on the study of treating crime fiction as serious literature, as literature. So it's been such a pleasure to be a part of it. It just felt like such an exciting thing. The students have been deeply engaged.
Tonight I'm taking part in one of the Notes on Fiction series, and this is really an extraordinary series of concerts that bring together musicians, composers, and fiction writers to explore the music that's featured in fiction, or the music that inspires or sets the stage for fiction.
This is just a wonderful group that's doing great things by connecting these kids with writers and giving them a book, which is hugely important.
I've been to I don't know how many readings here. I sat through a workshop here for 2 or 3 summers. That was actually my first contact with the center, was sitting through the Gordon Lish workshop. I've worked on my manuscript up in the writer's studio. I mean, the center is just so connected to the literary community here, but even the literary community at large. And I think that I don't know of another place that has that.
When I first met Noreen Tomasi, it was 6 or 7 years ago, and she told me that she was changing the Mercantile Library into a center for fiction that was only going to deal with fiction. I had never heard of an organization that did that, and my eyes literally filled with tears.
It was one of the most important places to be in New York.
I love the Center for Fiction.
Love the Center for Fiction.
I love the Center for Fiction. I love the Center for Fiction.
I love the Center for Fiction.
And I love the Center for Fiction.
I really genuinely do love the Center for Fiction.
I love the Center for Fiction.